Thank you, Lord, for another chance at life. Thank you, God, for this great opportunity. God, I thank you for being able to come together to my brothers and my sisters. Bless y'all. Bless you. Go tell somebody the prophet's back. Go tell them Lady Bess is back. Go tell somebody that God's still in the healing business. Go tell them, go tell them, go tell them, go tell them. Go tell them. I'm going to tag and hit as many as y'all as I can. I want you to tag and share and watch party and hit as many people tonight as you can. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to lie to you. I have a whole lot to share with you concerning everything that I endured. I was down for 16 days, people of God. 16 days. I was in the hospital for 6 days. So it's so much I want to say to the people of God, and I want you to take these words seriously. I want to really make those that scoff even at COVID aware that it is not a game, and let them know that it is a serious attack. It can take you out of here. But I want you to come in and I want you to get settled, get you something to drink. Let's sit down. You can tell, you hear my voice. I'm breathing on my own, people of God. I'm breathing on my own. You hear me? I had tears in my eyes. I'm breathing on my own. I'm breathing on my own. 6 days. I had tubes. I had to breathe through those breathing tubes, man. It was heavy. This has been the heaviest attack that I have ever endured in my whole entire life. They always call me a miracle baby, but those miracles were spoken that my mother and my father were able to actually see and endure, and they knew and watched God's healing hand. I was an infant, so I was unaware of what God was doing. I'm still tagging and sharing. I got to talk to you tonight. But I know God is a God of a second chance tonight. I know him as who he says he is to be. But I'm going to be transparent with you tonight, and I'm going to take down those walls, man, because this attack and God allowing me to survive this attack actually really birthed a new prophet. It birthed a new man. Because when you really realize that you get another chance at life, and you at a place when you're going through or wondering, is this your last moment? Is this my last breath? You know, there's no way to go back and be able to undo particular things or fix particular things, or, you know what I'm saying, re-critique and come back with things. So it's like a full disclosure of everything that the Lord did. I finished tagging and sharing, so it's your turn. You can tag and share, and hopefully they don't put you in Facebook jail, but this needs to be heard. I first want to start by saying, to God be the glory for all the things that he has done. I want to start by saying that. To God be the glory for all the things that he has done. I did not honestly see myself back here so soon at all. You got to understand, I went down April the 26th. So I got sick on April the 26th. And when I went down on April the 26th, I still wasn't aware that I had COVID. Let's start here. A lot of people are walking around and everybody's saying allergies, allergies, allergies. Listen, if you're sniffling, if it's any type of symptom that you're going through that's related to a cold, I need you after this to go directly and get a quick test. Get a quick test. They've got testing sites, man, where they'll test you and you get the results back in less than 45 minutes. Testing, something God had to break me from. is we as black people have a fear with hospitals. We as black people have a fear of knowing particular things. That's why even as a set of people, we wind up dying early from things like cancer and different things because we'd rather not know what's going on with us. We'd rather, if it's there and we have an inkling that it's there, we just rather not know that it is what we really don't want it to be. Prophet Best didn't in a million years want to hear that he had COVID-19. You understand? I preached through the full pandemic. We went through a year, 4 or 5 months, man, untouched, unscathed by this thing. But the Bible says that the weapon will form, but it said it shall not prosper. And I think what I had got hinged on, and a lot of people get hinged on, is we try to hide behind the protection of the scriptures, but we don't have the full interpretation of the matter to realize that Job was touched by a thing. You understand me? And he was touched. Thank you. I feel much better, Ebony. And the fact that Job was touched, man, it means that he had to be touched by a particular thing. So I want to say the testing. You need to know you got it if you have it. Because the longer you go with it and the longer that you push and you push and you push, you'll find yourself at a place of where you'll actually prolong this thing, man. Listen, when COVID hits you, it sits on you. When it sits on you, it sits on you for days and days and days and days at a time. People of God, I changed my book. I changed my book to Driven, the Book of Prophecies. I changed my book to Driven to Survive COVID-19, the Attack of Prophet and Lady, the Family. I had to change it because we're walking around ignorant and we're walking around as if this attack isn't real. It's very, very real. It had us down in the house, the chills. You went through the chills for days. You went through the fevers for days. And we're checking fevers and not even knowing that I am running 103-degree temperature and not even knowing it, man. Listen, it's a place where you don't want nobody to know that you have it, but you can't afford to do that, man. You can't afford to sit in that box and go through that thing. And especially, man, when you by yourself, it's nothing worse than not being able to help one another. When you watch a person struggle and have not even the strength to get up off of a toilet or not even have the strength to walk into the bathroom, people of God, the thing sat there for days and days at a time. I cried out and I cried out to God. I cried out to God and God healed me. God touched my body. God healed me. I know you said I got to go through this. I know you said that I had to be touched, but how much longer? And you'll get through it, and you'll get the chills, and the chills will keep you down. I was locked down under 2 comforters, people of God, 2 comforters, and I still couldn't get any heat. And it was just absorbing and just draining. It was just draining day after day, day after day. The first week, I'm thinking I'll get out of it because I'm like, I'll be back in my pulpit the next week. Not so, people of God. It sat on me. I had COVID on the April the 26th. I didn't get tested until that next Sunday when it was so bad that it had gotten to a point. Because the first thing we do as people when we get sick is we run to the Google bar. So we run to that Google bar and we start texting all these symptoms, and we start, well, I don't have this part, so it must not be the COVID. I got this and this, but it could be the flu, or I got that and that. So you want it to be what your mind wants it to be. So when you want it to be what your mind wants it to be, what it'll do is it's still going to be what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So when it is what it is, but you're trying to will it to be something that it's not, you're still putting that length in between there where you need help, man. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a medicine guy. You've heard me preach, and God's changed my mind with a lot of things, because I would always preach about why I believe God and take medicine, why I do this and why I do that. But people of God, the hospitals have medicines that we need. There are medicines. If I did not have the particular type of medicines that they needed to actually be able to take my breathing and regulate my breathing and the oxygens and different things, I was home one night, man, and I got up and I went to walk around my room, and this strong man that can bench press 300 and some pounds couldn't even find an inch of breath to breathe. it was as if I just felt I was gonna die that night. It was like there's nothing. How can I make it through the night? What can I do? I did not have the strength. It breaks the strength out of you. It sits on you, and it puts you in a state of where all you want to do is sleep, but you can't sleep because the headaches are ongoing. The chills are ongoing, man. The sweats are ongoing. It doesn't let up. And now your family is breaking out all over your house, man. It's real. You hear me? You got to cover your kids. I'm not playing with y'all. Cover your kids. They can't be all over the place. They can't, it's still there. You can't let them be a part of this, that, and all of these different things, man. You gotta keep your hand on them. You gotta keep them in. We are a family who do everything. We do the zinc, we do the elderberries, we do the teas, all of the kids do the gummies all day long, every day, all long. We make sure that's in them, man. But it got in here. You hear me? It got in here. And when it got in here, it wreaked havoc. It wreaked havoc. It went from my little girl, then it went to my son, then it went to me, then it went to my wife, then it went to my oldest daughter. And all of us were trying to serve each other. So Lady starts off taking care of me and Elijah because Zion zapped it pretty quick. Lady then turns around that night and she's sick immediately that night. You hear me? That night. You understand me? That night. That was it. That night, it hit her immediately. It shifts then from Lady, and my daughter jumps into Lady's shoes, and she starts trying to do everything that Lady does to take care of us. And then the very next day, boom, it jumped on her. So you got a whole house full of people that actually are weakened and suppressed because what COVID does to you is it sits on you like bricks. And it does not let up. So let's say your symptoms are the headache, the chills, and the fatigue. Well, what happens is you'll end up dehydrating because the chills cause the sweating, the diarrhea releases fluids. So everything that you can retain as a fluid because you don't want to eat. And the reason you don't want to eat because nothing tastes right. Nothing tastes right. No tea tastes right. Water doesn't taste right. Gatorade doesn't taste right. Soup doesn't taste right. It's just nothing that can suffice your appetite. So what you do is you just wind up sleeping and trying to recoup. But while you're actually sleeping, you're losing your hydration. So you're super dehydrated. That's a bad place to be because now you're super dehydrated and you still have the COVID. So tons and tons of advice from everybody because everybody's telling you what to do. Everybody's saying you got to get up and move. You got to do this. Well, I'm going to tell you how Prophet caught pneumonia. People were saying, get up, go walk in the sun, go do this, go do that and this. Again, our own self-examinations because we're scared to walk into a hospital or go to the doctors because we're scared of so many things that we heard. Man, that hospital treated me excellent. You hear me? My mother is in the hospital right now. She just called me. She's doing greater, man, because she's in the hospital and they're doing what needs to be done for her. They're giving her what she needs to be done. Those self-remedies when we sit home and we try to ride it out. That's how I got pneumonia. I got pneumonia when I got up, and one day I got up and I started rebuking it. And I started trying to fight it in my own will. And I was rebuking, I was walking outside and I was finding every spot outside. I was real weak, but I was like, I'm Rob. You know what I'm saying to myself? I'm Rob. I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to walk this thing. I'm going to break this thing. And I'm sitting in the rocket chair on the step and I just got up and I walked to the mailbox. And when I went to that mailbox, I said, I'm going to walk some more. And I just started walking and I was winded, but I was like, I'm going to walk. Then I'm going to break this. And that day I walked maybe about a good half a mile, just back and forth. And I came in feeling pretty good. And I thought that I had broke something because it's real tricky because COVID will let up on you. What it'll do is it'll give you a break every now and again. But when that break comes, you really should reserve that strength because that strength is going to be needed for the rest or the duration of the rest of the attack, because it's like a roller coaster that just keeps going on and on, up and down. And it might give you a little flat way, like you in Ocean City, you might get a little bit, and then she gonna drop again, or she gonna go up. It just goes. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. So that night when I got in, I laid on this couch that I'm sitting on right now, because sleeping and laying down, people of God, is just it's a job, it's a duty. You're supposed to stay on your face and your belly, because your lungs expand more. They'll tell you that even in the hospital. They do that to in hopes of not having to ventilate people, because they really don't want to ventilate you, because that's dealing with your organs and stuff. So I laid down because I had a lot of good people in my ear. I've got doctors, and we've got EMTs as well that go to the church. So they were telling me particular things had to be done, and they were doing particular things to try to help to coach me along. But they knew ultimately what I had to do, and they knew I didn't want to accept that I might have the COVID. So that night after I came in, man, I had been done with the chills. I had overcame the chills because I had been sick then for about 6 days. My strength was gone and my breathing was messed up. But the chills and stuff actually had left me. But this particular night, after I came in, people of God, I laid on this couch and I said, I'm going to get a little rest. That was it. I started going back into chills. And I said, God, what's going on? The chills aren't supposed to be back, man. Ain't this thing almost over? I'm thinking it's almost broke. It's got to be gone. And the next thing I looked up, I called my wife, and I tried to get off this couch right here. And it took me 2 hours to get off this couch just to use the bathroom. I had to use the bathroom so bad, but I could not get off this couch, man. I could not, because I knew that my breathing was very shallow. And every step you took so much breath to take those steps. So when you would go to take the step, it would be gasping, like gasping for breath. I have this, a doctor friend of mine out here gave me this and told me to keep this on, because what they do, they have to track when you have the COVID. So they track your breathing, and they tell you this. They'll say, okay, see that number? Mine is at a 96. It's going to shoot up to 97, because I've been 97, 98 now. I've been real good. But they say if that number, that top number goes down beneath 90, you're supposed to be in the hospital. And that top number went down beneath 90 that night twice. So see, mine's going up. It's going up the more I talk, which means that my oxygen, it lets you know I'm doing well. And I kid you not, I was scared to tell my wife, because it was certain things I was going through before her. And she didn't want to believe that she had the COVID. And I didn't want her to think that I was getting any new symptoms that were close to the COVID. So I was hiding some things from her, because I didn't want her to know like what was really, really going on. But when I walked in the room and I'm watching my wife, and she's bent over and she's crying like a baby because her strength is not there. And I can't even help her. I can lift 300 some pounds. And I ain't got enough strength to pick my wife up off the bed to help her to get to the bathroom. It was heartbreaking. You understand me? Both of us in the same state. Both of us trying to help each other, but in a very, very bad place. And as I went through that night, I finally got myself up, because she stood over me. And I was like, you can't lift me up. I went in this at 285. When I came out of it, I'm 270 now. So it kicked my butt pretty good. But I'll tell you, but God is good, man. He kept me. He kept us. We're here. We're back, man. We back. You hear me? We back. We back. We back. He healed our bodies. We back. I'm talking. I'm breathing on my own. My wife is upstairs. She's talking. She's herself. We back. But I had to tell you the story, because you have to know how serious this thing is. So that night, man, I rustled up the strength, and I got up and I made it up the steps, because it's 16 flights of steps from the bottom of the floor to our bedroom. And I got up and I said, I'm going to make it. When I made it to the top of those steps, it was over for me. I ain't have nothing in me. Nobody walked with me. I thought I was going to fall out right there. I just didn't have nothing. I had nothing. I didn't have the strength to even get out of the chair. They gave me a nebulizer. I said, if I get me a treatment, I can do this. And we only talking day 6. And I went to get in that bed because I said, I can't do no more today. I can't do nothing. I didn't know I had a temperature. These gadgets we buying off Amazon, man. Throw that mess away, man, and get some real stuff, man. The stuff we examining people with at church, those thermometers, man, them things don't work, man. That when I got in that ambulance, that woman said, you have 103-degree temperature. They were checking my temperature all day long. You understand me? And that thing kept reading all day long, 96.5, 97.8. The whole time we went through, none of us had a temperature, but did we really? Because I didn't even know I had a temperature until they put me in the ambulance. And when they lifted me off that stretcher was drenched like I preached 10 revivals. I was soaked and wet. That's how much it was pouring out of me. And so when they got me to the hospital, after that, because that night it was like, you can't stay here. I knew I couldn't help my family. And I knew my wife was a little bit stronger than I was in her attack because she didn't have the breathing against her, which is major. Because when you add the breathing to the equation, man, it's no joke. But that woman went through hell. Oh, man. My wife, she's not big. She's small. She's an organic freak. Everything she put in her body, it goes through strong regimen of she's an organic freak. You understand me? So it was hard for me with that because I'm asking God why, because I'm like, she's so healthy. Why that? You know, why would you? Why? Well, no, I never asked him why would he, because that's not fair because of how long he really kept us in the pandemic. That wouldn't even be fair to him to say, why would you let this happen to me when he kept us free and clear? And I mean, we were in the height of the pandemic, of the worst of the pandemic, having all types of church praying for everybody, and he was keeping us. So that wouldn't even be a fair dissertation to him. So I never asked him at that demeanor, but I was just asking him, like, let up off of my wife. God, just let up, like throw it on me. I was like, give her portion to me, you know, like I could take it. I don't want her breathing. I don't want my wife's breathing like this, Lord. I don't want my children's breathing like this. Put it on me. But I didn't know what I was asking for. I didn't know what I was asking for, man. Because after you get away and you get in that hospital, and I lift up anybody that had to die in that hospital without their family around, man. I lift them up. I lift their families up, man. Because once you go in, your family can't come. Nobody can come, even if they are COVID positive and all of you are sick. They can't come. They can't come, man. I only did 6 days. I was talking to Bishop Johnson, man. I love that, man. I love that, man. Bishop Weldon Johnson, I love him. I love him. That man prayed me through, boy. He prayed me through. He made me go to the hospital. Tim Collins, boy. I love you, boy. Him and his wife, they prayed me through. Tanya McCutcheon, Brian McCutcheon, I love y'all. They pushed me. They made me do what I wouldn't normally do. I wouldn't get up and go to no hospital. I didn't do the hospitals. But it was like, Rob, you need to be there. That's where you need to be. They have what you need. And you hear so many horrific stories of people going into the hospital and not coming out. So you just be like, I'm not going, man. I'd rather go out like this, but it's not true, man. It's not true. It's not true. I needed oxygen. I needed steroids. I needed some things in my body that would offset what I was going through. The pneumonia was making it worse. So by the time I made it to the hospital and they put me on the oxygen, I'm still worried about my wife. She's getting better, but she's still going through, you know? So my daughter, she's healing quickly. The doctor told me, he was like, don't worry about the kids so much because the kids, they chew it up almost like M&M's sometimes and spit it out. He's like, you know, they get over it like a regular cold. It's us older ones that, and he was saying, you young though, you strong. And he was saying, your case is different. So he was giving me hope, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're strong physical, you can make it, but it's gonna mess with your mental. And if you're strong spiritual and not strong physical, it's gonna mess with your mental. Because I know it messed with my wife's mental because I heard her say some things a couple of times about dying or not making it, somewhat to say. And I entertained the same thoughts because there was a time going first in that hospital, I was like, okay, I'm good. I said, I'm good. I got what I need. I was struggling to breathe. And Marquita, my daughter, she was like, if I got to come over there, if that meter drops beneath 89, I'm coming, me and Wayne, and we going to take care of you. It was so many of you. It was so many of you, man, that reached out to us. It brought so much strength, man. I can't even name all them names. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't make the mistake we did of being so private that nobody can help you. You can be so private sometime, man. You ever seen a person who get mad because they had a birthday party and nobody showed up for the birthday party, but they ain't fool with nobody? So they ain't fool with nobody, so the person who planned the birthday party didn't know who to call to get to come because they didn't fool with nobody. And God said, you got to come out. He was like, you got to come out, man. You got to tell people what's going on with you. You hear me? And he began to tell me, you can't be so private. You got to let these people know what's going on with you. It's people that love you out there. And we began to tell people what was going on. Because we were in a low place. It felt like we were going through what we were going through with just us in the church. And the church didn't even know what we were going through because we didn't even tell the church how serious it was. We were under attack. And when we let down that wall, man, don't worry, that's just me crying. When we let down that wall, y'all's prayers started coming in. Your comments of living and your comments of we praying and your consistency, and something start happening on the inside. Something on the inside start bringing courage, man. I was in the hospital at a certain time and I was just tired. I was just tired of going through. I was tired of not seeing my family. I was tired, and y'all would just bombard my inbox. You will bombard my front page, man. You will bombard that Joker Shantae, all of y'all, all different people from every level of my life, from the time, not just that I was saved, but the time I was in the streets, and y'all was just bombarding, and it brought strength, man. We need each other. We need each other. We need each other. We need each other. Man, nobody should have to go through that by themselves. Nobody should have to go through that by themselves, because the devil started playing with my mind, man. He started playing with my mind. Like, this is the end. This is where you're going to die. This is how it's going to end. You're going to be here. Your family ain't going to be around you. These people don't care about you, but the prayers just kept coming in. The prayers kept coming in. I would try to take some calls, but it was real hard, because when you have the COVID with the breathing part, man, not even a minute conversation is fun. Like, you can't have no conversation. My sister down here right now from Boston, and she has not been able, she gets to see me tonight. She's going to get to see me tonight. She's going to get to talk to me and touch me tonight because I'm cleared. She's going to actually get to, she couldn't know, no conversation. My sister Hope, my sister Hope, man, you would think she'd be the weakest out of all of us. That girl's a trooper, man. She's strong, man. She's strong. She ran from me and my wife, man, like a dog, man. She was like anything. She was just ride or die. I guess she said, I ain't gonna see you die. Holly Cotton reached out to us all the way from across the bridge, and she sent this healing honey. It's working, baby. It's working. She sent it. People were sending stuff. And they were saying, to do this, do that. I had COVID. I had to go through this. You need to do this. And it was like linking together. See what the devil do with us, y'all. He keep us as a black race, man. He keep us against each other so that when we at real low places, man, we annihilate ourselves through loneliness. He annihilate us, man, in our minds, and then we get in our minds that people really don't want to help us, and people ain't for us, or something somebody done put in your ear about what somebody said about you, man. It's lies, man. Lies, man. It's nothing but lies. And if it's something that somebody have against each other, or you have against a person, man, just go to the person, man, and just ask the person and hash it out, because you never know who you gonna need when you at a bad state. Like, we need each other. And even the church, man, I talked to the church tonight. Like, we get in our little group, man, and we stay confounded within ourselves, man. And it was the world, too, that came to Prophet Best Assist, man. It wasn't just the church, you hear me? The church stood up great for me. I thank God for them. But I'm telling you, some of these people that's on this line ain't even been in the church. And they was praying and lifting me up and pulling on the horns of the altar and calling on God every single night. God let me know that. He let me know that. He was just letting me know that our race is so separated and divided. That's what's keeping us from our greatest strength. That's what's keeping us from our greatest strength, man. Y'all came together. Y'all prayers came together, man. Y'all set aside whatever differences or whatever opinion y'all had about me or ministry or anything else. And y'all pulled together and said, we praying for that family, man. And we felt those prayers, man. My whole family's healed. My whole family. Even baby Jewel, our niece, man, she walked around here unscathed, man. And she got COVID, she chewed it up like M&Ms and spit it out. Because that joker been on 15 the whole time. So it was like God, man, he let us know. It ricocheted through our church. People in our church are suffering from it, and they're bouncing back. But if he healed me, people of God, if I came back, and I'm here in full working order, and I'm talking out of regular breath, and I'm standing before you to tell you that I have been healed, you shall be healed as well. And if there's anybody on this line, man, that was attacked by it, or has been attacked by it, or being attacked by it, we send that strength to you too, that you should have this same testimony. The days in the hospital, and I'm almost done. The days in the hospital went on and on and on. I was looking to get out about the third or fourth day. I was thinking I could get out, but they was like, we got to increase your oxygen because you're still more winded in your eating, and you're winded, you know, in the little things they were getting me to do. And the next thing I know, man, hopefully somebody will come down here, because I want to show you this breather meter that they gave me. I want to show you this. Hey, Zion! And y'all hear them? Y'all hear them lungs? You hear them lungs? You hear them lungs? You hear God? Oh man. So like give me that breather meter off of the end of that. So in and around that right there. In and around like the third or fourth day, y'all, I wanted to what's in there. I'm gonna show y'all something too. This was one of the breathing tests, and I'm gonna talk to you about this for a second. And I kid you not, y'all. I wanted to go home. I was thinking I could go home, but the breathing was just getting worse. It was just getting worse. And I actually thought I was going to have to leave. I had came under grips with, I'm going to have to leave here with an oxygen tank. Because my doctor had said it a few times. My doctor was like, well, we might have to send you out with a tank. But he was like, we can't send you now because you're still at 2.5 liters. So basically what they were saying is that the amount of oxygen I was using, they didn't want to send me home still needing that amount of oxygen, because I could need more. So I'm gonna show you something, self-will, because after a while of feeling sorry for myself, and after a while of just being, they call it Barometer. Thank you, Javerne. Barometer. After a while of feeling sorry for myself, and getting up out of the rut and thanking God that I was actually breathing and in a good place, that I was being helped. And I mean, they stuck me, man. God knows, every morning they stuck me in my stomach with a needle, because they said they needed to make sure there was no clots. So it was like needle every morning. This was my schedule. 5 o'clock in the morning, bright light come on, draw blood. 6 o'clock in the morning, vitals. 7 o'clock in the morning, all the meds, the steroids, the needles, the blood thinners, and then 8 o'clock breakfast. So your sleep pattern was real off. So that's how the enemy could really mess with you, because you just had nothing but time, remote control in your hand, and reruns, and your sickness. And they walked in the room one day, and they said, "I want you to do something for me." And they gave me this. It's a spirometer. And I have a spirometer, and then I have a rattler. So the rattler you blow into, because I had pneumonia. So they wanted me to keep blowing to shake up the cold that was in me, so that I could keep coughing and spitting it, because they didn't need it to formulate fluid in my lungs and cause me to need a respirator. So the constant coughing and everything, it just had to be done. But this little doohickey here, when I first made it in the hospital, they brought it to me, and they had this little blue tick on 1750. They had it on 1750. So I started, and what you had to do was make this little tick here has to stay in between here, and then you breathe slowly in to see where you can get this ball to go to. The first day I hit about 600, because it hurts. It hurts your lungs bad to breathe. So they would say this. They would say, "This isn't something that we gonna make you do." They said, "We're not gonna make you do this. This is something we're gonna ask you to do." But they said, the more you do it, it's gonna help you. So I want you to hear this, because sometimes we do have to assert our own energy. We can't just sit around and wait for a miracle to drop in our lap. So, in between my TV commercials and stuff, I would just keep hitting it. The most I could hit it in a day would be 4 times, and I was done, because the other one, 4 times, 8 in total, like the state of my lungs was just, it was too much. And I can't describe the feeling. I guess if someone that would have asthma, they could. So I don't know, the retracting was horrible. So I kept pushing this thing, man. And one day, I remember the day I made it to 1,000, and I was happy with myself. And I told my respiration specialist when she came in, I said, "I made it to 1,000. And she was like, "That's good news. That's good news." But I noticed that the bar had been set at 1750. And I was reaching for that 1750. And the day that they walked in and walked me around, I made it to 1250. And I don't know, I felt better. What I'm trying to tell you is I kept self-helping myself, because I was like, I'm not going to get better just sitting, because even though the oxygen was there and they were giving me what I was needing, I still wasn't doing anything to better the particular circumstance on my own to try to get better by myself. So what something kicked in, like, you got to do more yourself too if you're gonna beat this thing. So that day I got up, and that's when I walked. And the woman kept saying, she was like, "Just tell me when you're tired," because they took my oxygen that day. And I was on 2.5 liters that day. But that day, I don't know, something just kicked in. And I walked. And I finally sat down. And when I sat down, it felt like I had came off the treadmill for the first time in a long time. Now, I still had a little discomfort, but it was like I could breathe on my own, because this is where I say mental. What can happen is the anxiety can get in the middle of those breathing attacks. And the anxiety will come in and actually cause you to think that you can't breathe, but you can. So what it'll do is fear actually is setting in, like I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna breathe, and you'll panic. And I think I was having some anxiety in the midst of that attack. It was mental. It was starting to hit mental. And I think it was messing with me so much that it was making me feel that I couldn't do a particular thing that was easy. So I take this thing today. I'm gonna see what I can do. You'll have to watch it. And again, I'll tell you where I started, and we're gonna see where I end. Look like I hit the top, don't it? I hit the top of that thing. I hit the top of that thing. But I kept practicing. And I kept pulling. And I kept pushing. And all of a sudden, they walked in that room and they said, we're going to release you today. They said, we're going to release you out of here. They said, and you're not going to take no oxygen. They said, you're going to finish your regimen of steroids. You're going to finish your regimen of blood thinners. You're going to report to your doctor. And they going to let us know how you doing. I'm healed, y'all. You hear me? I'm healed. But I'm going to tell you, it was a test like no other. It was a test like no other. Let me say this to anybody. I used to tell people, you know, because we're strong in faith at our church. And Lady Bess came off of her blood pressure medicine. And we testified that. But Lady Bess, when she came off her blood pressure medicine, she changed her eating habits. What are you saying to me? I can't tell you to come off of medications if you don't have the discipline to sustain what the medication is there for. We got to use wisdom. You hear me? We have to use wisdom. God has taught me so much in this thing. He's brought me back now, and I think more of a wise teacher, more of one to be able to see. I'm teaching you something now that you were teaching people at your level of faith. But I'm even telling you, Rob, that at your level of faith, you weren't where you thought you were. You see what I'm saying? Like you give the people discipline. You teach the people how to do, but you never make the people be who you are, because they will whoop themselves thinking that their faith is less than what God demands of them when their discipline just isn't there. So when you tell that person not to take this because they have arthritis, or you tell that person not to take this and to believe in me, but they don't have the discipline in that area. My discipline was tested. You understand me? And my discipline was tested at 1,000 degree. It was my discipline, man. When he tested me, it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me what I was not. It taught me where I was not. It taught me that even though God is gracious upon me, that he can allow me to be touched, that I am not untouchable. None of us are untouchable. None of us are above each other. None of us are above reproach. None of us, you understand me on this line, are perfect. None of us are far from the hands touch of Satan. So we bless the Lord when we actually can say, thank you for this day. I made it through without that attack, because God was good to me. You understand? Because that attack, and take it as serious as you. I don't care who's taking their mask off. I don't care who doing what they doing. You continue to do what you do and know you need to do to be safe. Black people take it serious. You understand me? We take a lot for a joke. I'm here to tell you, it was no joke. My wife can come down here and tell you, it was no joke. There are people in my church that are going through it and coming out of it, and they will tell you, it is not a joke. It's not a joke, man. It's not a hoax. It's not something that's made up. It is very real. And if you don't have the right people around you, the right support system under you, and a strong mental, it can take you out of here. It could take you out of here. It could take you out of here. It would take you out of here before your time. And I don't want to see that happen to none of you. The Bible said, I wish not that neither of you perish. I wish not that neither of you perish. You understand me? It's nothing. I told lady the whole time, even when we was going through and we was coming out, I said, I don't wish this on my worst enemy. You got to be heartless to look at somebody and say, I'm glad they got it. You got to be crazy out your mouth to come out your mouth and say, that's what they get. You have lost your mind. You got to really be a sick, sadistic, heartless, cold, heinous person to actually look at a person go through that and actually want to see them go through that and gain joy out of that. That stuff right there, man, ain't real, man. That's not right. That ain't even real blood that pump in your veins if you think like that. We got to have compassion for each other. I told my wife, I said, we out of this. I said, my job now and from evermore is when I find out somebody's sick, when I find out somebody going through something, I'm going to be there for them. I said, that's my job. I said, I know I'm the pastor of the church. I know I'm the prophet. I'm going to be there for them. You know how many people, when I was concerned about the bills of the tabernacle because we can't go back in at least for another 2 weeks. We've already been down. So you're talking about a month or so just out of commission. You know how many people of this world actually went to Givelify and Cash App and was sending the church money, man, to take care of the church? That was showing just how strong and how much they believed in the ministry. Man, you know how many people, I mean strangers, people from everywhere, was just sending in so that we could take care of the bills of the house of God, man. They pulled together. They pulled together. They pulled together. And it's my job. It's my job. I survived this. It's my job now to be there for the people. It's my job to be there for the people. If you survived anything and God gave you a second chance, man, every opportunity that you get, use it to be there for somebody, man, because nobody deserves to be alone going through any type of attack like that. Nobody. This is day 16, 17 or so, and I feel great. I feel great. Lady Bess, she feel great. I'm going to see if I can get her to come down. Now, let me see. So I'm going to let you hear these lungs. Hey, lady! Hey, Zion! Let's see if I can get her to come sit. Tell Keish come here for a second. See if I can at least show you what she looked like. Just to show you she all right. Just let her sit here for a couple seconds so you can see that she's all right too. Because there's so many people. And that's why I knew I had to come tonight, because we were still getting flooded. And we actually, for the first time, the first time in 2+ weeks, I went out driving today. And I said, you know, the people really deserve to know that we okay. I gotta let them see our face, so it can lift that burden of prayer, because they've been praying. Keep my mom in prayer. She's in the hospital. They have her on the same regimen that they had me on. Okay. They have her on the same regimen that they had me on. She's in great spirits. She's doing well at the moment for the moment, because you're not really doing well when you're in it. Honestly, you just have your moments, but I'm just glad she's there and she has oxygen and the people around her, for what she needs, because she's older. She's 74. Keep the mothers of my church lifted up. Just call out, God, touch the mothers of his church, because 1, 2, 3, 4 of them had gotten it. The children, a lot of the children had gotten it as well, but all of them actually have bounced back, basically. Lift up Renisha on tonight, because she just went to the ER tonight because it's bothering her breathing. Lift up Stacy tonight because it's bothering her breathing. Lift up Matthew tonight because it's bothering his breathing. But we all know the same God who healed this man and his wife and his whole family is going to do the same for them. I'm not, come here for 1 second, just 30 seconds. I'm not going to go through it spreading or getting around the church or nothing like that, because Lady and I didn't catch it from the church. We didn't even catch it in the church. It just went rampant and seemed like, come this way real quick. It went rampant and it just went crazy. So I'm not getting into all of that, and I still don't charge God foolishly. I ain't gonna lie to you. Come here for a second. Let the people see your beautiful face. I know you're sleepy. She just woke up and just lean you in my path and let them see you smile real quick. Look at her. There she is. There she is. There, my baby. See her. Look at her smiling. Look at her. Look at her sweet cheeks. My Rose is sitting back up now.
Hey, everybody.
She said, hey, everybody. She just woke up. She ain't sick. She just got up. She just got up. You know she got to be feeling good. She don't never come on live with me. She don't do the cameras. But I told her I wanted everybody to see her sweet face. So, but I just lift them up in prayer. You hear me? Lift them up in prayer and put them before the Lord, and we're going to watch God do just what he said he's going to do. Y'all be encouraged, man. I mean it. You be encouraged. And lift Erica too. Erica Lake. Lift Erica Lake up. A lot of people got impacted from it, like maybe about 20-some people. The Snowden family, different. Shakita, lift Shakita up. She got hit with it. But they're going strong. Tamira, Landis, they're going strong, y'all. It hit heavy, and I just felt that I needed to tell all of y'all to take life serious and to take this serious, and to be precautious. If the kids come in the house, or you start this because it's allergy season. That's all everybody know. It's allergy season. It's allergy season. Look, go take them and get a rapid test. At least you know. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it up for chance, because that duration. That's how I got pneumonia. That duration. Just look. Just go. It is an irritating test. They go all the way up your nose. But a buddy of mine told me I was supposed to hold my breath and you wouldn't feel it. But however you have to get through it, it needs to be done. You can't just kick cans around it and hope it goes away. Because if by chance it actually sits on you, like it did Lady and I, you in for a long haul. And some of the people that's on this line, you in for a long haul. And if you don't have the right support system around you, then it could possibly break you far before the disease was meant to kill you. So if you get ahead of it, you can win. And I stand before you transparent tonight to repent, because I wouldn't do the testing. I wouldn't do any of it. I was like, you ain't sticking that in. You know, we always got so many conspiracies as black folk. So you ain't sticking that in me. And then, well, how I know it ain't on the test? How I know, you know what I'm saying? It's just so many conspiracies that are in our mind that stop us from just finding out if something is wrong with us and then getting to the meat. Because either if I'm a spiritual person and I find out what's wrong with me, then I can pray against what it is. Or if I'm a natural person as well, I find out what's wrong with me, I can be treated for it. So at least I know. But it's the fear of the unknown that actually I think is taking us out of here early, because we just don't want to know the what's going on. Lady and I didn't want to know that we had COVID. We didn't want to believe it. But we got it. We survived it. God healed us. Your prayers brought us through. And we just thank God for another chance to love on one another. Another chance. Another chance to love on my baby. I'm here. I'm going to mess with her.
Oh my God.
Rub on her edges. Yeah, I'm telling you, like another chance to just be up under each other and just be here with you. We not doing the RIP Prophet Best down our line. Ain't God good? We ain't doing the RIP Lady Best, RIP Onyx Best. We ain't doing the sleep in peace, and we ain't doing the memories, y'all. We not doing the memories. We not doing the memories. We here in the flesh, and that feels good because you guys actually willed as well. A lot of you willed us as well to live and to get better. So we love y'all. Y'all stay encouraged. God bless. Oh, man.
Oh, God.